Now, it's about time we discuss about pronunciation. We're talking about Willis, the Word Master. It's always a pleasure to have this amazing gentleman with us. We'll link up with him a little bit later on. Let's just take a look at the word on the street right now before we get to know a little bit more about how his week was and what sort of words he has for us this Friday.
Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox. Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox. Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox. Xerox. Xerox.
Xerox. Xerox.
All right, that's the word on the street. Without further ado, let's just introduce Willis, the Word Master, into this particular part of the show. Willis, hope you've had a good week. A lot has happened in the course of the week. Tell us how yours particularly was.
Jesse, personally, the week has been good with me, but as a Kenyan, it has been a bad week going by the unfortunate thing that happened in Nairobi. And I would just say, because of all that happened, you know, it's sad. But one thing that came out clearly is God is good and Kenyans are wonderful. A salute to all our forces in this country, that is the security officers.
The fast responders as well, Willis. Now, today's word is a little bit mouthful, especially one that has an X. So we don't know how to pronounce it. Is it a Z or an X? How do you remove the word? Is it Xerox or Xerox? Kindly bring us up to speed, Willis, and what it particularly means.
Jesse, in the first place, the word means, it is a verb, and it means to make a copy of a letter or a document. And this word, the pronunciation of this word is a bit tricky because, the first X takes the voiced sound Z. So you say Xerox. You don't say Xerox, you say Xerox. And you don't say Xerox. And remember, it also has the meaning of to photocopy. Just like you can say the secretary has gone to Xerox the document.
All right, thank you, Willis. Xerox. I think we got it correctly.
Xerox.
Over to the next word, a confusing and difficult problem or question. Is it a conundrum or conundrum? You know, Willis, I think it has the same meaning with dilemma as well, right?
Yes, or quandary and all that, or you can talk about a vexed question. Those are synonyms, Jesse, as you rightly put it or correctly put it. Now, one thing that we should remember is the first U takes the mid-central sound You say conundrum, conundrum. For example, you can say to unravel or to overcome a conundrum. Some people find themselves saying conundrum. Conundrum, no. You say conundrum. Just like some people find themselves saying stadium. No, you say stadium. Stadium.
And that particular word, stadium in plural, how do we pronounce that?
We have two acceptable plurals of that word, Jesse. One is stadia. Stadia, which some people find themselves saying stadia. The other one is by adding an S, what we call the plural S, and you say stadiums, stadiums. So okay. Stadia or stadiums.
Okay, yes. Thank you for that, Willis. That's a point to note. Over to the next word. It's an act of a person or a wrongfully act, especially a crime that is sort of wicked. How do we pronounce it? Heinous or heinous?
Oh, Jesse, many people and very many people say heinous, but that is wrong or inaccurate. You say heinous, a heinous crime, not heinous, not hyenas and all that. You say heinous.
Heinous crime, a heinous crime.
Yes.
Thank you, Willis.
Yes.
The next word, explode or cause to explode. Do we detonate or detonate?
Oh, you say not D. Detonate. Detonate.
Detonate, Willis. Many thanks. Over to the next word. Said without proof. You know, it's alleged to have taken place. Is it alleged or alleged?
Jesse, you said the right thing. That is alleged. Alleged. When we have the past tense or the past participle of that word or the verb allege, you say he alleged, he alleged, he has alleged. Don't say alleged. But when you also use the same word, that is alleged as an adjective, you also say alleged. An alleged crime, an alleged involvement in this and that. But some people find themselves saying an alleged. You only say alleged when you are using the adverb, and that is allegedly. He allegedly slapped the person.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Willis. Now, this word must have come out a lot, especially this week. You know, if we talk about that special squad that was sent to calm the situation at the Riverside Drive, is it the Recce squad or Recce squad? I know it has a couple of meanings, especially in media. You know, when you visit a particular place in order to get a clear view of that particular place while you plan on doing a story. So I'm sure most guys in media say Recce, you know, as it's written. Now, is it really Recce, Willis?
Jesse, even in, you know, the military, you know, operations, we have the word Recce. You say Recce. The spelling is R-E-C-C-E, but you say Recce, and it is the informal form or word for reconnaissance. That is the activity of gathering information about an area for military or journalistic purposes. So you say to do a recce, and you also talk of recce squad, not recce or rese and any other version that you might have had nowadays or just in the recent past.
Okay, I'm sure we've definitely noted that recce squad, you know, you do a recce as you plan on a story as well. Over to the next word, very mouthful. Contrary to reason or common sense, that's what it means. Preposterous. Right?
A tricky one, Jesse. But Jesse being Jesse when it comes to matters English. You see, there's a friend of mine who also told me, tell that young man he deserves a pat on the back always because it gives the punch and the clarity of news. So keep it up, Jesse. But this word is preposterous. Preposterous. That is, you can talk of, you know, a claim or an allegation that is preposterous.
Okay, thank you for that. Preposterous.
Yes.
Okay. Still mouthful, the next word, relating to priests or priesthood. Sacerdotal. Sacerdotal. Kindly help us, Willis.
Oh, that is S-A-C-E-R-D-O-T-A-L.
Yes.
You say sasa. The first part is sasa. Very tricky. Sacerdotal. Just like you can say sacerdotal garments, sacerdotal life, or sacerdotal authority.
All right, Willis. Sacerdotal.
Yes, that is the way to go.
All right. We never cease learning. It's a process. Over to the next word. This might be, the meaning is out there. The word is weapon. But there's also some who refer to this particular word as weapon. So kindly show us the way, Willis.
Jesse and our dear viewers, that is KTN viewers, this is a tricky word. Locally, we do hear of weapon, but there is nothing in English like that. Weapon, no. You say weapon. That A is not pronounced. Just like when you talk about the word wealth, you don't say wealth, you say wealth. That A is not pronounced. For this word, and I know this is a surprise to many people, you say weapon, weapons, and then you say weaponry. So weapon, that is a no. Weapon, a yes.
Many thanks, Willis. Now, last but not least,
You're welcome.
it's used to indicate that a named person is also known as, when we're talking about alias, or is it alias?
Oh, Jesse alias, very common locally, but you say alias. Alias Wanugu, alias Rambo, alias Chafua Chafua. That is when we're talking about another name that is used for a criminal or an actor. So you would say alias Wanugu or alias Rambo, not alias, not alias.
All right, many thanks, Willis. Elias, I wonder, do you have an alias as well? Perhaps you'll let us know as we take a look.
Yeah, but I'm not a criminal,
yes.
nor am I an actor. So in most cases, when you want to use another name for a person and an ordinary person, you would say AKA. That is also known as, an abbreviation for also known as so and so, like also known as wordmaster.
Yeah.
But you don't say alias wordmaster.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, AKA the
Yes.
Wordmaster. Now, Wordmaster, kindly take us through
Yes.
some of the feedback you got throughout the week, as well as the
Okay.
tricky words, yes.
Okay, now we have Kiprono Langat of Nairobi. You say once, once, to do something once, O-N-C-E. And your second word, as a verb, you say live, to live in a place or to stay in a place. To live in Nairobi, to live in Nakuru, and all that. But as an adjective, to mean instant or happening at the same time, you say live, like live show, a live show, a live concert. So Kiprono, you get that. Jesse Kihoro of Juja, Nairobi, you say Herculean, Herculean. But remember, the same word is also pronounced as Herculean. Herculean or Herculean. Those are what we call alternative or acceptable pronunciations of one word, where one word has more than one acceptable pronunciation. Herculean or Herculean. Helen Anyango Odero of Siaya County, you say Satan. Locally, we say Satan. Satan, especially when I use that accent of my community, Satan. But S-A-T-A-N in English, you say Satan, Satan. Now, Paul Mwaura Kamau of Nakuru, but currently in Bangui, Central African Republic, you say Nemesis, Cabal, and Lacuna. Sandra Mambo of Lamu, you say questionnaire. Zebedio Matoke of Kakamega, you say aerobics, and you say amortize, amortize. Emmanuel Tambo of Arusha, Tanzania, you say often or often. So the two pronunciations are alternatives or acceptable. Often or often. If you can't produce that consonant cluster of fn, you can also say often, but that often now will have the weak sound, or what you may also call the intrusive vowel sound e. Often, 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 and often. All are acceptable. We have Walter Matoke of Ogembo Kisi. You say gargle, to gargle. Marcus Madegwa Simi of Kakamega, Leicester City. Don't say Leicester. Many people say Leicester City. That club, the name is Leicester, Leicester City. Very tricky. Imelda Opi of Nairobi, you say rendezvous or rendezvous, but you can also say rendezvous. Jefferson Kibagendi of Mwongori Nyamira. Jefferson Kibagendi of Mwongori Nyamira, Ministry of Agriculture, you say acknowledge, to acknowledge. Then finally, Karen Mwita of Kehancha, you say salon for S-A-L-O-N, salon. Then you have saloon, a type of a car or a type of car, you say saloon. That is S-A-L-O-O-N. Then we go to the surprise word for tonight. That is W-R-E-A-T-H. You say wreath, wreath. Then this is a wreath. When you're talking about an arrangement of flowers and leaves, usually in the shape of a circle, you say wreath, wreath. to lay a wreath at a mausoleum. Don't say to lay a wreath. Then when you come to the verb, you say wreath. In fact, I would have this one for clarity. This is wreath, the noun, to lay a wreath. But when you talk about the verb that means to cover, surround, or to wrap something, you say wreath. Now you realize that you use the sound th, that is the voice sound th, like in the word this. Just like when you have sheath, a sheath, that is a cover for the blade of a knife or a sword. You say sheath, sheath. But when you have this verb to mean to put a knife or a sword into a sheath, you now say sheath, sheath, with sound th that is used in the word this. Then confusing words. We have the word achieve, that is to reach or attain a desired goal, objective, or result, to achieve something. But we also have the lower word, which may confuse somebody with the upper one. The lower one is archive. Archive, that is a collection of historical documents or records providing information to people about a place, about people, and all that. So don't confuse these words, especially in careers of serious communication. The first one, achieve. The second one, archive. Then finally, when you watch KTN on Friday, that is on Friday night, that is Friday briefing every Friday night, you have a chance to know the phonetic symbols or the sound symbols. This is what we call the low front sound symbol for a. It is the symbol that is the phonetic or sound symbol for the low front vowel sound a. Just like in the word ban, fan, run, and van. Ban, fan, run, van. What you should remember, many people find themselves saying rain. This word is run. The past tense of R-U-N is run. But commonly and locally, we find ourselves saying rain. Remember, this is Willis Ocheng from Kisumu. Now, throughout the week, you can also interact with me on Twitter, and the handle is @WillisOcheng1. Back to Nairobi, Jesse, over to you.
All right, many thanks, Willis. It is indeed always a pleasure to have you with us and actually correct us when we are wrong. Of course, no one knows everything, but Willis, you're always in a position to inform us about how proper pronunciation is. All right.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Willis. Have yourself
My
a good
pleasure.
night. And that basically marks the end of Friday Briefing. It has indeed been a pleasure to have you with us for the whole 1 hour and so 24 minutes. And I must say thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Of course, my name is Jesse Rogers, our sign language interpreter, Maresha Owiti. Have yourself a wonderful night. Bye-bye.